tonight, accompanied by fellow leader of the new school, Marty Skrull. Please welcome Zack Sabre Jr. His opponent, on his way to tonight's finals, this man defeated Johnny Kidd, Joel Redman and Mark Haskins. He is one half of the IPW UK Tag Team Champions, accompanied tonight by Shah Samuels, one half of the cartel, Terry Frazier.
We are live in the Great Hall of Bromley on a night that, without exaggeration, could usher in a new era in British wrestling. I'm Dave Bradshaw, along with the Twisted Genius, Dean Ayers. And Dean, what a huge night this is in IPW.
Well, hello everybody, and you're right, Dave. This is undoubtedly the biggest show in IPW history since Final Frontiers, which obviously secured the future of this very company. And tonight, not only will we crown our first ever British national champion and potentially a new All England champion should that occur, but we are going to see a match that has been pretty much 2 years in the making as Alex Shane and Martin Stone finally meet one-on-one right here in our main event tonight. The security has been beefed up here. We've had random bag checks because of various threats that have been made. The tension backstage is unbelievable, and that's going to be something else, I think. But right now we've got Zack Sabre Jr. and Terry Frazier preparing to do battle to make themselves a place in the final.
Yeah, we're going to talk much more about Stone and Shane as the night goes on, but as you said, Dean, this is the first semi-final of the British National Championships. As the bell rings, a 54-man tournament that started over... 64-man tournament.
You got your stats wrong, stats.
Oh, what a terrible start. 64-man tournament that started 13 months ago on the 23rd of September last year. We're down to 4. It's Terry Frazier and Zack Sabre Jr. Who's your pick in this one, Dean?
Well, you know, I've said that Zack Sabre Jr. has had a real breakout year in 2008, and I think that's going to continue. He is more versed in singles wrestling than Terry Frazier is, and for that reason, I think I'm going to go with Zack Sabre Jr. The other thing to bear in mind, of course, is the luck of the draw favours them. This is the first semi-final in the bracket. The second semi-final between Johnny Moss and Dan Head's obviously coming up straight after this. but it does mean whoever wins this gets that little bit more rest time than the opponent in the final.
We talked about Zack Sabre Jr. and what a year he's had. At the start of this tournament a year ago, considered a 66-to-1 shot. Certainly not considered that anymore. Just 4 weeks ago, named the Rising Star at Wrestling Observer UK's Indie Awards.
Yeah.
And just last week over in 1PW, an incredible shock win over American star Chris Hero. Really has been Zack Sabre's year so far.
Absolutely, it really has been a tournament of surprises, much like the FA Cup this year, you might say. The big names, I guess Johnny Moss is one of the big guns, but some of the people, Ricky Knight, the Zebra Kid, Doug Williams, Johnny Storm, they've all fallen by the wayside. And Zack Sabre Jr. in fact, I believe he beat Johnny Storm in one of the earlier rounds right here in Bromley. Was that not correct?
Yeah, he did beat Aviv Mayan, Mikey Whiplash, and Jules Lambrini as well. His win over Johnny Storm in the quarterfinals, it should be said, was somewhat controversial. As Terry Frazier with the sunset flip didn't get it. Early pin attempt by Terry Frazier of the Cartel. And we haven't spoken about Terry yet. What a great.
Do we have to?
Yeah. Please. He has been fantastic so far this year in singles competition. Obviously well known for being in that fantastic tag team, the Cartel, that just finished a tag team title reign that lasted over a year.
And thank goodness that's over.
Well, temporarily over, I think it might be, because the Cartel, for my money, are still the best tag team in British wrestling. But Terry Frazier has made some incredible strides in singles action as well.
Well, if Terry Frazier was to win this, which I hope he's not, I've said all along, I think Johnny Moss is going to go ahead and win this thing. But if Terry Frazier won this, I reckon that would tear the Cartel apart. Shah Samuels is the jealous type, and all this story about them being childhood friends and that. I think a bit of singles glory for Terry Frazier would pretty much rip that team apart.
Dean, I don't think you know the same two men I know, because these two, Terry Frazier and Shah Samuels, are two of the closest tag partners you're ever likely to meet. And I can't see Shah Samuels being anything but delighted for Terry if he can win this tonight. Anyway, as you see, Zack Sabre Jr. escaping that hold by Terry Frazier, and again going to the outside to be tended to, shall we say, by the somewhat obnoxious Marty Skrull.
There's nothing wrong with Marty Skrull. I was going to say another big name, of course, that had been knocked out. Guys like Andy Simmons and Martin Stone, who, of course, myself and Styx made sure he was out of that tournament.
Well, Martin Stone has other issues to deal with tonight, but I'm sure somewhere in the back of his mind he'll be thinking about who's going to win this tournament tonight, because whoever does can surely use this as a springboard to the upper echelons of British wrestling, and that's got to be of interest to Martin Stone.
Well, of course, whoever comes out of this tournament, the winner will also be the All England champion. That title currently held by Johnny Moss, who beat Sam Slam last month in Wolverhampton at the Independence Day weekend.
Now, what's this by Zack Sabre Jr.? He's trying to lock in that submission hold, known for his submission style. But Dean, for my money, I think Zack Sabre has a problem tonight. Terry Frazier has, if he's proven nothing else this year, he's proven that he's not one to give up easily. Beautiful,
look at that combination, Indian deathlock and chin lock. A move made famous, of course, by Keiji Muta, the great Muta.
And Terry Frazier may be in trouble here. I'm not sure he can reach the ropes. You can see him elbowing Zack in the face. Brutal offense by Terry Frazier, but that's what he had to do to try and escape. He still hasn't totally escaped. And Zack Sabre may go for this again. He's changing his hold there. I don't know what he's going for now. But look at this, Frazier fighting back. And Sabre with the front face lock almost going into this is a kind of a choke.
I was going to say it could easily turn into a guillotine choke.
The crowd firmly behind Terry Frazier of the Cartel. And look at the power he's showing here. He's picked up Zack Sabre Jr. and rammed him into the corner post. My goodness, that'll do your spine some damage. Sabre straight back on top of Frazier, floats over. He's got two, and Shah Samuels was thinking about making the save, much to the consternation of Marty Skrull. Sabre again, back to the headlock, just completely relentless. Sabre to the ropes, shoulder block, and Frazier goes down. Sabre's definitely had the better of the match so far. to the ropes again. Hip toss, oh, sit out hip toss by Terry Frazier and an arm drag. Frazier getting some momentum. Dropkick sends Zack Sabre down and into the corner.
Sabre, I think, was trying to escape the ring there, but couldn't get out of the way. Managed to get out of the way that time.
Look at that. Frazier straight shoulder first into that steel ring post. That could be a turning point here. Sabre going to pull him into the middle of the ring.
Especially if you think Zack Sabre Jr. loves arm submissions. He loves getting that cross arm breaker in which he can seemingly get you in from pretty much any position you like. And I think with that, you know, this match has definitely now turned because Terry Frazier has got a target. That arm, I guarantee you, Zack Sabre Jr., as he's doing already, he will work that arm over relentlessly.
You know, there's something distinctly unlikable about this young man, though, Dean. There's a pronounced hockey streak in him. He doesn't.
Well, yeah, Terry Frazier isn't the most likable person, I agree, but
Dean, as you well know, I'm talking about Sabre.
Zack Sabre Jr. is a fine young man. I haven't got a bad word to say about him, apart from maybe that dodgy hairdo.
He's tried his best with the haircut, but he still looks like an emo, according to I think the vast majority of this Bromwich crowd. But he's the kind of guy, if he goes for the pin here, 2 count only, the kind of guy who. Oh, he's going for the cross arm breaker. Cross arm breaker, and you see Frazier linking his arms together. Doesn't want to hyperextend his elbow because that would be a terrible position to be in against Sabre.
Sabre decides not to expend too much energy in trying to get that on. He'll try it another time, which is a smart move because, as we've said, these men have got to, well, one of them at least has got to wrestle twice. You don't want to go expending too much energy. It's a fine balancing act. How much energy, how much effort do you put into the semi-final? You know, you've got to put enough in to win, but not too much. There's nothing left in the tank for the final.
Now, this is what I was about to talk about a moment ago. You see Sabre Jr., he's not only trying to beat Frazier, he's trying to humiliate him. You see him mocking Shah Samuels. It's completely unnecessary. If this man didn't have such an arrogant streak, I think the fans here would be a lot more appreciative of his, you know, incredible talent.
Well, the trouble is the fans here are jealous of anyone with talent. You know, tell me anyone famous, anyone notable ever came out of Bromley.
I'll get back to you on that
Exactly, you know, you're the stats guru, you seem to know everything, you're the walking Wikipedia Dave Bradshaw, but you can't even answer that one. That's because there's no one ever significant that's come out of this dump of a town, and that's why the people here don't like Zack Sabre Jr.
I'll tell you what, if Terry Frazier keeps going the way he's going, he might come out of here tonight as the British national champion. Look at that, flying knees to the chest of Zack Sabre Jr.
He sprung to the top rope like a cat.
And now both men down. But Zack Sabre, I would say, is in a lot more trouble than Frazier. If Frazier can get over and make the pin, he may get to the final here. Sabre and Frazier, both men struggling to their feet. It's gut check time here in the semi-finals of the British National Championship. Exchanging right hands. Look at this, both men almost out on their feet, but this is how much it means. This is how prestigious it would be to win this unprecedented year-long tournament. Flying elbow by Terry Frazier. And Frazier will send Sabre to the opposite corner. Here he comes, avalanche. Frazier to the ropes. Oh, and look at that flying big boot. Sabre may be out. Make the cover, Terry, make the cover. He's got the leg hooked, and no.
Look at you cheerleading for Terry Frazier here.
It's hard not to, Dean.
Yeah, you're meant to be a professional.
Dean, I'll be impartial the day people like Zack Sabre Jr. and Marty Skull actually start playing fair.
You should be impartial like me, Bradshaw.
Please. That doesn't even merit a response. Frazier again, he'll go for the avalanche again. Sabre wise to it this time.
You see, that just shows me, oh, beautiful, Enziguri caught him on the back of the head. Oh,
Spear by Frazier.
That's an absolute desperation move from Frazier. Both men down.
It may have been desperation, but it was certainly instinctive. And again, it's turned the tide back in favour of Terry Frazier. What an opening match. What a semi-final for the British National Championship. It's everything this one promised to be and more. As Sabre and Frazier again. Frazier first up this time. Right hand, and another, and another. Oh, look at that. Sabre with almost a low blow. I think it was...
There was not a low blow. Oh, he's going for that cross arm breaker again, but it's right near the ropes.
Frazier just needs to realise where he is. He can get his leg onto the ropes. Some aggro between Samuels and Skull on the outside.
Marty Skull's doing nothing wrong, typical of Samuels, to try and just, beat someone up.
Skull was trying to interfere and get Frazier's leg away from the bottom rope, Dean. You know that as well as I do. They're right near us here. Quite how you didn't see that for an impartial commentator, I'm not sure.
Hey, I didn't see it. I can't call what I don't see, just like the referee.
Suplex, overhead.
Oh,
Sabre.
beautiful, beautiful. Look at that. And now he once again goes for that cross arm breaker, smacking Frazier's hands. Just nearly got a 3 count now.
Yeah, Sabre's shoulders were down. I'm not sure he realised. A 2 count, and Frazier nearly had the win right there.
But the strength there of Terry Frazier to pick up Zack Sabre Jr. from that position. He could easily have popped his shoulder out. Jackhammer. 1, 2. No, just the 2 count from Chris Hatcher, referee.
I thought that was it, Dean. I thought that was it. Frazier stalking Zack Sabre Jr. now. Both these men had an incredible year to get this far, but it's coming down to who wants it more right now in the Great Hall of Bromley. Sabre again, he's got the cross arm breaker again.
And this time he's got it locked in.
Skull is going crazy on the outside.
Chris Hatcher, no submission. Skull is going crazy, you're quite right. Charles Samuels urging his tag partner on. And Terry Frazier gets to the ropes while Marty Skull gets shoved down. Totally unprovoked attack there from Charles Samuels. Disgraceful.
Charles Samuels only doing exactly what Marty Skull is doing. I don't know what you've got against the cartel, Dean, but I think they're going to be around for a long time to come based on the performance here.
Oh!
By Terry Frazier, that's 2, and that's 3.
And Terry Frazier is in the final.
The winner of the match and the first man through to the final of the British National Championship, Terry Frazier.
Unbelievable action in the opener.
Sorry, Dave.
Here in the Great Hall in Bromley, and Terry Frazier from nowhere with a rock bottom, having escaped 2 or 3 cross arm breakers from Zack Sabre Jr. Dean, Frazier's in the final.
Out of nowhere, Frazier hit that move, and he now has, however long the second match takes, that extra amount of time to rest up. Does that point things in the favour of Terry Frazier? Up next, Johnny Moss and Dan Head in that second semi-final here in what is an absolutely jam-packed Bromley Civic Hall. There literally isn't a spare seat in the house.